A man contacted our whistleblower hotline saying he was taken advantage of by a pushy salesman in a multi-level marketing scheme. Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin investigated those claims. He has what you should be on the lookout for.
Clint Bimler has struggled with his weight for a long time.
A gastric bypass in 1984.
He was looking for something to help.
I continue to gain weight.
He says a pushy salesperson tried to take advantage of him.
I didn't know where else to turn, so that's why I turned to whistleblower hotline.
He was contacted by Jessica Ball. She sent him this picture. She's a brand manager for Fit Team Global.
She said that it would help me.
Fit Team is a multi-level marketing company. Its brand managers profit by selling product and getting others to sign up to sell. Fit Team sells powder that mixes into water that's supposed to help with weight loss.
I think she tried to take advantage of me and get away with it.
They only ever communicated via Facebook. Bimler says Ball quickly tried to upsell him, but he was worried about cost.
Yeah, I'm on Social Security disability.
Ball asks if he has $129 to get started. Bimler, concerned about cash, asks how much exactly will come out of his pocket. Ball doesn't answer. Again, Bimler asks how much he'll be charged, but Ball just says how the product works. Then he gives out his credit card info and gets the bill.
It up to be $246.31.
Bimler says he didn't have that much money and says it overdrafted his account. He immediately asked to be refunded. Ball asked him not to return it because it was his order that allowed her to earn a bonus. She even offered to buy the product back from him. Bimler says he mailed the product back, but Fit Team says they never got it. After Ball blocked Bimler on Facebook, he tried to call her. Bimler left Ball 2 voicemails this week. She never called him back. When Valley News Live called her, she got back to us right away. She says she didn't know he was on a fixed income and clearly laid out the prices of the different packages. The Facebook messages contradict that. She calls this all a big misunderstanding and says that's why she doesn't like doing business over Facebook.
Must have thought that I was a pushover because I'm on disability.
After Valley News Live investigated, Fit Team decided to refund Bimler the full amount.
Sure that nobody else has the same runaround from her.
From East Grand Forks, Ryan Laughlin, Valley News Live.
Fit Team says they typically don't refund unless they receive the package in the mail. They say they never did. The Better Business Bureau says they only have one other complaint filed against the company. And the BBB says be cautious if you're thinking about being a part of a multi-level marketing company, even if you're just a buyer.
Be aware of what you're actually getting into. Oftentimes they're built on emotions and excitement, and the salespeople are usually incredibly good and can bring you in pretty quickly.
Johnson says you should never give your credit card info to someone using an unsecure website like Facebook, especially if you don't know them personally. Adding that it typically is a red flag if they ask you to pay another way other than a secure website. And if you need help uncovering fraud, just as you heard from Clint, you can call us like he did on our whistleblower hotline. That number is 701-237-6576. Be sure to leave your tip, and a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. Well, we're sure enjoying some sunshine today with hardly any clouds out there. Hutch, how does the rest of our evening look?
Well, it looks like we're not having much to worry about as far as precipitation or cloud cover is concerned. But if you were tiptoeing across the grass this morning in some parts of our viewing area, the ground freezing up. 28 the low temperature in Langdon and Hallock, 27 in Cando. Some clouds in the Southern Valley held temperatures of the 50s, and that 1 degree reading in Park Rapids must be a thermometer error. But for tonight, we have more frost advisories through the central Red River Valley. Fargo not included, but Detroit Lakes you are, as well as Park Rapids. A freeze warning for north central portions of Minnesota, Roseau to Bemidji. And it does look like temperatures this evening for your outdoor activities will slowly slip into the 40s. So another cool but very quiet evening across the valley. We'll have some unquiet weather to talk about as we get into our main weather segment here in a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Hutch.
Yep.
We're also following new developments in a trial we've been following for you of a Minnesota man. He's been found guilty of murder and drug charges tied to a meth trafficking ring that led to a shooting at a Grand Forks truck stop. Prosecutors argued that Modesto Torres ordered that the hit that killed a 24-year-old outside the Flying J truck stop in Grand Forks back in 2016, and then he led a meth trafficking ring in the region. He was convicted of 3 of the 4 counts he was facing. Torres will be sentenced on December 1st. Some new federal legislation that is aimed at protecting Native American women from violence, abduction, and human trafficking has been named after Savannah Greywind. She was a pregnant Fargo woman who was killed and had her baby taken away from her. U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp introduced Savannah's Act today in Washington. She says the legislation would improve tribal access to certain federal crime information databases. Heitkamp says this will help solve crimes and develop prevention strategies. The bill would also create standardized protocols for responding to cases of missing and murdered Native Americans. Meanwhile, Brooke Cruz's defense attorney told Valley News Live today that she will be heading to Jamestown, North Dakota to undergo a full mental health evaluation. Cruz is one of the 2 people who have been charged in connection to Greywind's death. There is no word yet as to when that evaluation will be taking place. And authorities are investigating if the Las Vegas gunman eyed outdoor concert venues in other cities before the attack. This comes as they enter a 4th day of searching for a motive behind the attacks that left 58 people dead and injured nearly 500. Sarah Doloff has the story from Las Vegas.
In the weeks and months leading up to the massacre in Las Vegas,
hey, they're shooting right at us, guys. Everybody stay down.
Authorities confirmed Stephen Paddock looked at other cities with high rises overlooking outdoor concert venues, including Boston's Fenway Park. He went so far as to book rooms in Las Vegas the weekend of the Life is Beautiful music festival and Chicago during Lollapalooza, although he never checked in.
Was he doing pre-surveillance? We don't know yet.
When he arrived at Mandalay Bay September 28th, he requested a room on a high floor, mounted cameras to look for law enforcement, and blocked stair access. Inside the room, police found thousands of rounds of unspent ammunition and a significant amount of explosives in his car.
We look for actual indicators of affiliation, of motive, of intent, and so far we're not there. We don't have those sort of indicators.
Today, more praise for the city's first responders, including a fire captain returning from another call when he heard gunshots.
Captain picked up the radio and said, "Dispatch, do you have any reports of gunfire and something going on right now? Because I'm hearing a lot of gunfire." They said, "No." "Oh, yes, now we do." It was that fast. The floodgates opened on Giles and out poured dozens and dozens and dozens of patients.
Go! Run! Keep your head down! Go!
Jumping into action. Bravery that undoubtedly saved lives as bullets rained down. In Las Vegas, Sarah Doloff, NBC News.
This afternoon, the NRA endorsed tighter restrictions on bump fire stocks, which allow semi-automatic rifles to fire like automatic ones. 12 of Paddock's rifles were outfitted with them. In a statement released today, the NRA president calls for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives to immediately review whether these devices comply with federal law. The NRA statement stopped short of explicitly calling for legislation, instead endorsing new federal regulation through the ATF. The statement also criticized some lawmakers for pushing for gun control in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. A man from Cathay, North Dakota is dead after he was hit by a train in Wells County this morning. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the 61-year-old failed to yield for the train about 11 miles northwest of New Rockford. The man was pronounced dead at the scene of the crash, which remains under investigation. Still ahead tonight, Michael